All right, everyone, welcome back to the Land of Chem. I am your host and the author. My name is Jeffrey Drum. Thank you all so much for joining me again. All right, everyone, welcome back. This is Sunday Site Visit 70, and today we will continue exploring some unexplained, critical, functional areas of the Giza Plateau that you may have never seen before. If this is the type of content you're interested in regarding the ancient technology of a lost civilization utilizing physics and chemistry, and the function of the Egyptian pyramids and other ancient structures from across the world, this is the channel for you. So please subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube, and don't forget to click that little notification bell so that you do not miss the new episodes that premiere twice per week. Please like, comment, share, and stay tuned if you want to help support this channel and get access to exclusive research and unreleased footage. Check out the Land of Chem members only channel and thelandofchem.com if you want to pick up a copy of the book or grab some merch. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is @thelandofchem. Also, don't forget, after you finish watching this video, please go subscribe to our two new channels here on YouTube, Egyptian Trash Cats, for all of you cat lovers out there, and Egypt Eats for food reviews. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you all so much for the support. I think that is it for today's intro. So without further ado, let's get right to it. And just a quick reminder, the second 2024 Land of Chem Ancient Alchemy and Ascension Tour is on, and a few bookings are still available. But the deadline for reservations and deposits is coming up soon at the end of August. So if you are interested in coming to Egypt to see the pyramids for yourself, including special permission access to Abu Sir, and a private entry into all three chambers of the Great Pyramid of Giza at night during this epic adventure experience coming up in early winter later this year, please send me an email to contact@thelandofchem.com with the subject line Egypt Tour 3, and I will send you the full tour itinerary and pricing details. Thank you all so much, and I will see you soon here in the Land of Chem. All right, everyone, here we go with tonight's episode. Now, to begin, today's expedition commences with an investigation of some anomalous structures located near the southwestern corner of the Great Pyramid, right here. We then venture down inside of this underground chamber that features this unusual track-like system here. This perplexing structure is located on the southeastern corner of the western field over here. Next, I jumped down into some of the iron oxide metal mineral pits in this area to document more of the spectacular melted mineral veins running through these components. And then on to the southeastern corner of the central pyramid to examine what appears to be a basin right here in this area. And finally, to the central pyramid satellite structure located here. As you can see here, to the south of the central pyramid on this diagram. And a lot of people don't know that with the satellite pyramids included, there were a total of 11 pyramids that once stood on the Giza Plateau. So now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I hope you enjoy Sunday Site Visit 70, Veins, Conduits, and Channels. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And we're back here on the Giza Plateau for another Sunday site visit expedition. And we're starting here on the southwest corner of the Great Pyramid. Specifically to investigate this component here, which I'm sure you can already see that there's a channel
running down through this way. And I find this area very compelling. For some reason, my intuition tells me that this is an important area. So I wanted to come back and take an up-close look at the configuration of this whole thing. All right, so again, southwestern corner. And there must have been something here. And I'll show you a few unusual details that give me that indication. All right, so we see some iron veins running through here. Here's another area where that deposit would have run. This is also a fairly unusual component. It looks like a sinkhole into the bedrock. So this area all in through here is bedrock. There are two unusual holes right here. It seems a little too circular to be a sinkhole. Let's just call that for now an anomalous detail. And as I've stated before on numerous other Sunday site expeditions, differentiating between the modern and the ancient can sometimes be pretty difficult. And I recently did some intense archaeological investigation regarding the black basalt floor of the Eastern Temple. And it appears that all of those channels that I showed in the previous episode are original. Even the one that was reported by the archaeologists working on site to be a modern channel, it's in the archaeological reports as being original and in the diagrams. So here you can see a big eroded channel in through here. You can see all the shells. The nummulitic bedrock limestone of the Giza plateau is all permeated with shells. And up in through here you can see the, well, hopefully you can see that. There's a bunch of iron oxide indicating that this was a vein running through here. Here are a few channels that now hold modern cabling. All right, so here's the inlet into this covered channel here. And it's a covered channel. You can see the limestone covering of the channel. So here's the continuation of this vein that crosses below where this channel would have run, because the channel would have been above where the vein is. And this area is just really unusual. Look at this. I mean, what? So there's 3 channels in this little thing. There's one channel here, one channel over here, and one channel here, all at different heights. This one is higher than this one, and this one here is the lowest of the 3. I wonder if there's a pit that goes down below this thing. I mean, this is a huge piece of bedrock limestone here. So there is definitely a structure here. Alright, so the channel leading in this direction has several branches. It goes here, and then through here. There's a bunch of channels just running through this whole area. And then there's a channel here that connects back into this one. And sorry for the long pause there. I'm evaluating this area. So this could actually be, okay, so let's propose some ideas here. This could be a quarrying area where they were cutting out large blocks, and the channels are just dividers between the blocks. Because as I walk around the front, there are some quarrying scoop marks. So that seems like a fairly reasonable hypothesis for what at least some of this is. However, there's things like this. A shaft. There's another inlet here. You walk around the front. And I'll show you those quarry marks, which are definitely ancient and original. You can see here, these are quarrying marks. Move over this way so you can see a little bit better. There you go. There's one there, and one there. So they may have been sectioning this thing out. And we're going to pop this piece out. Some more of these quarry marks here. But then we have the channel running through here. which seems an unusual configuration to have this right up against something that you were going to quarry out and remove anyway. So as always with these Sunday site expeditions, you know, stuff that I haven't seen before, you get to hear the on-site process of evaluation. And this is another interesting component that leads me to believe that this is not a quarry, because why would there be a hole or a shaft? And this is I would open that up, but there's a disgusting mask on there and there's no way I'm touching that thing. But anyway, there's a hole or a shaft leading into this thing. And if you were quarrying this block out, why would you want a big giant hole in there? So that's unusual. Here you can see some more indentations. That look like quarrying marks. But you can see that there's another little channel running down through here that continues through here. There's this other channel that dropped down through here. I don't know, this is in one of those anomalous areas of the Giza plateau that, so you can see that there's a channel that runs so what the hell was over here? So this is the channel here that runs back in this direction. Here you can see a huge, and you see how black and red that is. There's a piece of the vein here actually coming out of the bedrock. There's another piece of the vein here. And this is all super dark red in through here. So a huge vein of iron. Again, you know, when I say iron, we need iron oxide and a whole host of probably 20 other different metal minerals. And then the shaft just disappears back here into the sand. I mean, clearly somebody has dug at least a little bit back into there. But then it disappears back under the modern road. So who the hell knows where this channel actually goes or what its original function was. So a very strange little area that had my attention from the last time we were over here. And as is often the case, sometimes these site expeditions leave you with more questions than answers. So here you can see the beginning of this huge vein that runs down through this area. And And there's definitely channels cut through this thing. And I will say that all the channels appear to be kind of converging. Yeah, I don't know. I always try to propose some rational, conventional interpretations for the anomalous features before I go into interpreting them as being functional. You know, looking at this as a quarry where they were using these channels to section out blocks would certainly be the first step in that rational interpretation, but the channels are all uneven. The channels are sloped toward the inside. There's holes and shafts cut into this thing. There's a shaft here going down into it. There's the channel that runs by here. Channels running in through here. The more I look at it, the more I lean away from the quarry interpretation. Because when they quarry blocks, they're at least somewhat regular. All right, sorry about that cut. My GoPro keeps shutting off because it is too damn hot out here. All right, so let's get an up-close look at some of these veins so you can see how melted the material is in here. And then I'm gonna make a very good point about these iron veins. So what we're looking at is this part right here. Okay, so this piece of the vein looks like a stream of melted iron running through here. And you can probably see the intense reddish color. And again, there's pieces in here, like this piece here, that just look like extremely melted metallic iron. Which brings me to a very, very important point about these iron oxide mineral deposits. So first, iron oxide itself is not a conductor of electricity. Iron oxide is a dielectric material. However, as previously discussed, when the voltage capacity of a dielectric material is exceeded, it will undergo a phenomenon known as dielectric breakdown and will spontaneously become a conductor, allowing current to flow. Now we know that high voltage current is also going to distribute a ton of heat through these veins, which is why a lot of it looks melted. Well, what happens when you heat iron oxide? The exact same process that would happen in smelting of iron oxide, where the oxygen is released from the molecule, leaving us with metallic iron. So this system was ingeniously designed to harness the natural dielectric iron oxide metal mineral deposits running across the Giza plateau, with the advanced knowledge that with the first strike of lightning and the associated distribution of current through these veins would heat the iron oxide, melting the iron and transforming it into conductive iron metal, which is why we see that certain areas of these iron oxide deposits look extremely metallic. And in the chemical analysis, we found very, very pure, high concentrations of iron. Not to mention the other conductive metals within these deposits, like gold and silver. So again, to rephrase that critical point, iron oxide itself is a dielectric that will only conduct electric current when the applied voltage exceeds its dielectric capacity. However, the first strike of lightning would have transformed this iron oxide, releasing the oxygen and creating iron metal, literally creating conductors from dielectrics. And as I've shown, there are so many of these iron oxide deposits on the plateau that look like just melted streams of metallic iron, where it's no longer in its mineral form as iron oxide, but it's now metallic iron. And again, my intention of studying this area specifically is to get documentation of these anomalous functional features. This channel that I'm standing in here, that disappears below the modern road here, is absolutely a functional component, and connected into these veins, connected into this unusual structure over here that's filled with conduits and channels. Let me walk the length of this channel again. All right, so let me update the nomenclature that we're using here on the channel as well, since it's on my mind. Let us now have three distinctions: veins, iron oxide, iron metal, conductive metal mineral deposits. Those will be known as veins. Conduits will be channels that appear not connected to fluid movement. For example, the conduits in the white calcite crystal in the Eastern Temple adjacent to the Pyramid of Wunis, because we've discussed that I do not think that those are channels for fluid movement. I think that they are rather conduits that once housed copper wires, and we'll get to why I think that's the case and the chemical application thereof in a future episode. So again, you can see this just covered channel here. This is the inlet of the channel here. And then disappearing back in this direction into the sand under the modern road. All right, now we've crossed the road, and I love finding these. So this elliptical shape here is a vein of iron. And I love finding them when they're in the circular or, you know, tubular shape, really very much looking like veins. And I've presented that other one in the pit adjacent to the central pyramid that looks like a huge iron wire. All right, so we investigated this area before. We'll walk around to the front. I wanted to get another look over here too. All right, so we got 10, 20, it's probably 30 feet down to the bottom. I can see that it goes in this direction. All right, so there's a direction that goes here and one that goes here. Again, running underneath the modern road here. And I could see huge deposits of iron running through that area. Now, this is the area that we looked at last time with these weird, I mean, I don't want to say tracks, but it's certainly what it looks like. I run down into this thing. So this area here, and you can see this scoop shape, which is definitely a channel. Here it's like scooped out and running from whatever was here down in through here. Clearly a channel. Again, using that new distinction of channel for some sort of fluid movement. There's huge deposit of iron oxide and metal minerals here, huge chunk of it over here, and then this pit, it looks like there's tracks running down in through here.
Looks like there's light.
It does look like there's light. This is probably connected into that vertical shaft that I just showed. There appears to be light shining down into this area. All right, yeah, the light is coming from up over here. Oh shit.
Does it extend to the left?
That's a container here.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
There's a lid here, container here.
Can you see inside the container?
I mean, not from here, and I don't want to.
How far down does the pit go? Can I come down a little bit?
And I forgot the lighting attachment.
I have a flashlight. I'm coming down.
hold on. All right. See the channel here?
I got the gloves.
Look at that. This is so exciting. Wow. This is crazy. Can you see?
I wonder if this is marked on the Westfield map.
All right, come on.
Into the light. That was cool. What do you think?
Huh. Much easier going in than getting out. All right. All right, so now we're here on the north side of the central pyramid, and again, digging more channels. So again, they're installing, I'm imagining in these PVC pipes, they're going to put electrical wires that are going over here to this new guard booth that has, there's an electrical box behind it. And a real sloppy job of it. شايز كامل شكرا شكرا. All right, and there's one area in particular that I want to look at over this way on the southeastern side that I haven't really documented yet. I'm actually going to take a break here in the shade and fire up a cigar. And I've done some pretty extensive documentation of the veins and connections on the eastern side of the central pyramid here. All right, so we're gonna take 5. I'll be right back.
And just a quick announcement, new Land of Chem merch is now available. I just dropped the Nano Gold 5th degree logo on a black t-shirt and hoodie. And I'm very excited to present the new spectacular white horse logo on a black hoodie and the premium high definition extra large white horse logo on this exceptional quality black t-shirt. The Egyptian blue version of the Land of Chem book are still available. So if you want to show some love, just check out thelandofchem.com. And thank you all so much for the support.
Looks like an old boy. What's up, buddy?
Camel Orion? Hey. Is this Camel Orion?
ايوه مش عايز كامل شكرا. What's up, buddy?
You wanna buy one?
No, لا.
Yeah.
You're handsome. I think this is a girl. Oh. Oh. It's my Chewbacca impression. It's pretty good. مش عايز كامل شكرا. So here are some areas of extremely melted looking veins of iron. صديقي ما فيش فلوس أنا آسف. So Lex is looking at these same quarry scoop marks here. So it is possible that that area was, at least in port, a part of a quarry. So these would have also been used in the lifting and moving of these stones. مشايش شكرا. All right, and I'm going to see if I can get down in this other pit. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a dust tornado over here in the distance. Pretty cool. And I haven't really shown it from this particular vantage, but this entire area that you can see in front of me here is a huge iron deposit. And it goes all the way down the side of the temple here into the pit here, where I've shown that huge circular vein, the thing that looks like the massive iron wire or iron pipe. This whole area is a huge deposit. And one thing that I find not unusual, because I understand that these are indications of function, but so there's bedrock in through here. This is bedrock here. But if I go straight, see a really red piece of iron sticking out there. Okay, this is limestone paving that goes directly over this huge, this is all this brown and red stuff in through here. I've shown this is all iron. And if I follow this, I'll keep the camera down so you can't see exactly where this leads yet. Okay, so I'm following the paving, following the paving. Straight to the pit. There's an injection hole right here. They've covered this up with stone. I've shown this on now numerous Sunday site visits. The inside of this pit, this is the area with that huge vein down in there. It's nice and quiet today, so why the hell not? We'll go back. We'll go down in here. All right, so that pile of rocks on the top leads to a hole in through here. As you can see right there, and that hole is completely eroded. So there's an injection hole leading down into this highly eroded area of iron and metal minerals. Which I'll show this huge circular pipe again, vein here. That thing is crazy looking. And this whole center core piece here looks fused and melted. You see all this is melted around here. Again, there's abundant indications in these mineral deposits that they have been heated, and that we're no longer looking at iron oxide, we're looking at iron metal. Or at least was once iron metal and has since re-oxidized into iron oxide. This part looks pretty crazy here too. was good timing. And again, you can see this hole here that led down into this pit. And again, this paving leads directly into this area, and it looks like it goes under here. You can see this piece is covered up with modern cover-up. I bet you there's a shaft that runs all the way, because there's this same configuration of paving blocks here on the other side leading into the northern pit. All right, so today I'm smoking the G series. Carrowkeel Warp Cigars is his personal blend. He's looking for Lex over there. We'll do some tasting notes. I was talking too long and not smoking, and glad it didn't go out. It's a pain in the ass to light these things up here in the wind. That was a very nice draw. Like really dark cedar, molasses, some black pepper. This is one of the darker cigars in the Warped portfolio. Full-bodied, strong nicotine, good stuff. Yeah, they are very nice up here on the Giza Plateau, despite what some people may say. They're just trying to make a living.
Yes. It's tough out here.
Yes. The heart. All right, Lex is over there deciphering some hieroglyphs. We got some dudes over here in wife beaters and Jinko jeans and chain wallets. Looks like they're about to do some TikTok dancing. Little cool guys. And I'm just sitting here enjoying this cigar, which has some strong cedar notes. This one has been sitting in my humidor. And for any of you that are curious what my Egyptian humidor setup is, a glass Tupperware. A giant glass Tupperware filled with 69% humidity Boveda packs. Airtight glass, so there's no plastics. and kept in perfect humidity with Boveda humidification packs. Works great for traveling too. And just looking at this iron deposit over here, I could spend all day up here just looking at these iron deposits, and I've discussed this area previously and how there is a shaft that goes under here. There's a bunch of modern concrete, and there used to be a big hole here that went under and back in this area. So I do believe that there's some underground shafts that are connecting into these pit areas. And here is the, yeah, they call these boat pits. It's not a boat pit. That is bullshit. Huge vein running through here. And this is the pit that had the highest concentration of rare earth elements. The neodymium, dysprosium, lanthanum, cerium. This is the area. Piece of a vein here. These eroded holes going back into the bedrock here. Look at how smooth and eroded those are. There's one that goes back in this direction. I mean, I can see that goes back about 20 feet. Here's another piece of the vein in here that's all eroded. See the iron mineral in through here. There's the vein leading from the surface here. Cool shot right there. This is all iron deposit. So there was another huge vein of iron metal minerals running through this pit. I guarantee you won't see this stuff anywhere else, folks. And Lex and I were talking the other day about how many times I've been up to the Giza plateau. It's probably close to 100 now.
What Sunday site visit number is this?
I think this is 69 or 70. But that's just since I moved here. And And I guarantee I have more on-site expertise in terms of total hours spent at these sites than anyone else in this game. And man, like these pieces in through here again, will just look like, you can see here. I mean, it looks like melted streams of iron. As I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, the first distribution of electric current in through this dielectric iron oxide material is going to turn it into iron metal. So to reiterate that, you're not talking about dielectric metal minerals. You're now talking about actual conductors, metal wires. Have iron, a variety of other metals, silver and gold, extremely good conductors of electricity. And of course, over the thousands and thousands of years since these structures were operational, you know, the surface material has reoxidized into iron oxide. There would have been a massive amount of current moving through this area. It's just a huge, huge deposit that then branches in this direction and goes down the causeway toward the Valley Temple and the Sphinx. Is down in the hole now. Yep. And these eroded channels, so again we're using the nomenclature of channel because there is fluid movement in through here. Look at this. And this leads down into the pit there.
Hey! Rất là đẹp mình. Sorry. What is this?
So English?
Yes.
So this channel here,
Yes.
you see the black material and the veins here?
Yeah.
And this material here?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is iron.
Yes.
Iron metal.
This.
Metal. Iron.
Yes. I know.
And this pit here
Yes.
was filled with this iron metal. You see all this red and brown over here? If you go look over here,
Oh my God.
this is all iron oxide and iron metals.
Thank you so much.
So these pits are filled. There's another one over here that were once filled with this iron mineral. No one ever looks at these, but this is our area of expertise and focus.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you go look over here, look at all this brown and red here,
Yeah.
and you can go look and you'll see these red lumps of iron So iron metal.
Oh. And what is this?
These are lights. So on the weekend, they turn on the lights to light up the pyramids,
Yes.
and they do a sound and light show down at the Sphinx where they make a big presentation with lights and sound and music, and they do it on the weekend.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And people always see us down looking at the weird stuff. They're like, what the hell are you doing down in there? And this is the type of stuff that, you know, your average Egyptian tour guide just isn't going to even know about or even bother to point out. So come on the Land of Chem Ancient Alchemy and Ascension tour coming up later this year. Send me an email, contact@thelandofchem.com, subject line Egypt Tour 3. Deadline for reservations is almost up. Alright, so now we're on the southeast corner of the central pyramid. And there's an unusual area over here. And that wind feels so good. Let me turn around so it's not ripping through the mic as much. But if you were here on site, you'd be very grateful for that wind. Sadiki. ازيك؟ أنا مصري. There's this section here on the southern side of the central pyramid. Just looks like there was a huge pit here. And you can see that there's a channel here. So again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, the archaeology on the black basalt floor of the Eastern Temple of the Great Pyramid indicates that the channels running through there are all original. And I don't know whether the archaeologist on site was just full of shit or if he didn't know the difference. But the channel that he described as being a modern electrical housing is actually indicated in all the archaeological diagrams as being original. So I think that these, for example, you can see a cable here. I'm more inclined to think that these are ancient and that they reused the pre-existing channels. I was always suspect of that idea that they would cut channels into the bedrock of the Giza plateau. It makes a lot more sense that they would just utilize the existing channels. But it definitely seems like there was a pit here. And then we can walk over here and take a look at the central pyramid, satellite pyramid. Which I posted a short on this, you know, a year and a half ago when I moved here. And it has like 500,000 views of people saying that there was no satellite pyramid here, that clearly are unaware of the archaeology. But that thing blew up. like overnight, hundreds of thousands of views. People bitching and moaning and arguing with each other in the comments. But there was indeed a satellite pyramid back here on the southern side of the central pyramid, right here. And I'll show you the foundation of the structure. We'll walk around the, so this is the foundation. Here, see here some of the original paving stones. This is interior, and then you can see this space here where the casing stones would have sat. So right here is where the corner of the pyramid would have been. This is the interior. The casing stones would have been lining the pyramid here. And over here, there's one inlet. Here you can see some of the core masonry still stacked up. And then there's another inlet here. So there would have been one. Okay, so there's an imaginary pyramid here, right? There would have been one inlet coming up from higher on the side, going down. And then there was one inlet from over here going down from the bedrock. It appears from the inclination of this one that it would have been up here, going down here, and the other one goes in from the bedrock level further underground. And this is the spot where all the plateau guards chill in the shade. It's actually quite nice back here. And you can see the perimeter of the structure here. The satellite pyramid. Getting down to the nub on this guy.
Pyramid sound coming up too.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, cigars get better as they age. And this one's been sitting in my humidor for, I don't know, a couple months now. And there's notes in this that I didn't pick up before. Sweeter molasses notes, the really strong cedar. Definitely a more full-bodied. Most warp cigars are medium-bodied. So those of you may be wondering, what was this function of this structure? I've proposed the satellite pyramids, specifically regarding the satellite pyramid of the vent pyramid, but also the satellite pyramid here of the central pyramid, are hydraulic presses that were involved in the operation and movement of the internal valve closure components. And I did an episode on that way back, I don't know, I think it was like episode 39 or something like that. Because all of these satellite pyramids were enclosed within the external reservoirs. So there would have been a water source feeding into these structures. It certainly could also function as a hydraulic pump to pump water into the structures as well, but I think they are connected to the internal valve system. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this cigar. We're gonna make our way down to the Valley Temple, and I'll just enjoy the rest of my day up here, sans camera. So thank you all so much for tuning in once again. Pretty cool day. This thing is all fucked up. There we go. All right. As always, thank you all so much for the support. And we'll see you next, well, Thursday research episode. And then next Sunday. Whew, makes a big difference here in the shade. I think next Sunday, well, I know where we're going, but I'll leave it as a surprise. It'll be a cool site visit. Damn, this thing is... It never gets old. Maslama.
All right, everyone, that is it for today's video. This was Sunday Site Visit 70, veins, conduits, and channels on the Giza Plateau. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and in the next episode in the series, I will be presenting a detailed investigation of the White Horse Hills of Wiltshire, England. This is an episode you do not want to miss, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to The Land of Chem here on YouTube. If you're interested in the ancient technology of a lost civilization, utilizing physics and chemistry, and the function of the Egyptian pyramids and other ancient structures from across the world. Don't forget to click that little notification bell, like, comment, and stay tuned. If you want to help support the channel, check out the Land of Chem members only channel and thelandofchem.com. Links in the video description below. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is @thelandofchem. Also, don't forget, after you finish watching this video, please go subscribe to our 2 new channels here on YouTube, Egyptian Trash Cats, all you cat lovers out there, and Egypt Eats for food reviews. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you all so much for the support. I think that is it for today's episode, so I will see you next time.
Yo, are you still watching this? Please subscribe to The Land of Chem here on YouTube and click that little notification button. New videos coming out every single week. And check out this other episode. Come on, do it. Do it now.